welcome to Vedantu Young Wonders, and today we are back with one more chapter that we are yet to complete, and that is water, and water a precious resource. Did I say one chapter? No. We are actually completing two chapters. So one chapter that is from your 6th standard water and one that is from your 7th standard water a precious resource. Okay? Now these two chapters are actually very easy, so you don't have to worry much. And anyway, Vedantu Young Wonders is there for all your study with, so why to worry? Okay? All you have to do is just sit in front of the screen and listen to us, and you will definitely be acing your exams. All right? So let's take a look at exactly what we have to study in this chapter. Okay? So yeah, the first and the foremost thing, we have to understand how water is an inseparable part of our life. All right? And how we just do not drink water, but we are also actually using water for a lot of other activities that we do in our daily life, right? For example, brushing our teeth, for example, cooking our food, we take baths, and for all of this we are using water. So do you understand how it is actually a vital part of our life? And by vital, I mean a very important part of our life, okay? It is in fact a very important natural resource also. Now, unfortunately, what happens is, although there is water abundantly on Earth's surface, yes, 70% of Earth is definitely covered by water. But did you know that the water that we have to use, that is like absolutely just a pinch? Like compared to the 70% of water that is present on Earth's surface, you just have a pinch of water to use. And that, believe it or not, because the population is on the higher side, because it has been like always increasing, because the pollution that us human beings have been causing, that water is reducing even more day by day. Okay, so what are the things that we are understanding here? We are understanding that water is a very important natural resource for us, especially us, because we are constantly using it. Next thing that we have to understand is, where are the sources of water? Now I understand that river, lakes and ponds, by this we only mean the fresh water sources, and we are not talking about water sources as such. Like water sources will also be oceans and seas, right? But that's a salty water which we cannot really use. So we are talking about the fresh water source. Talking about the third point says that water is one such substance which is available or found in all the three states of matter. And all the three states of matter are what? Solid, liquid and gas. That's something that you all know, right guys? Correct? Chalo. तो इतना आ गया सबको समझ? All of you have understood these 3 points, right? See, it's very basic and very easy chapter. There is nothing much, okay? So don't worry so much, just listen carefully. Now, we have to understand the water cycle. How do we understand the water cycle? I'm going to make it very easy for you. See what happens. You have all the water bodies, right? Consider this to be water bodies. The river or the ponds or the lakes or anything. Now what happens? Evaporation is a process that continuously happens all throughout the day. Always, every second of your day, if you just take a look at it, evaporation is happening. Where does evaporation happen? Evaporation happens from the water bodies. And what is evaporation? The conversion of water into water vapor is known as evaporation, right? Clear? So what is happening from the water bodies? Evaporation happens. From the water bodies, evaporation is happening. Okay? Now you are taking a look at this word transpiration. Now you are thinking and you are itching your head. What is transpiration? Guess what is transpiration? Transpiration is, again, transpiration is also pretty much like evaporation. The only difference is that transpiration happens from plants and trees. The excess of water that the trees or the plants, they give out, they make sure that they give out the water and the atmosphere takes it. Like again, this water, this excess water is also getting converted into water vapors. Okay? So what is happening? The trees or the plants that we have, they give out excess amount of water to the atmosphere, and that is known as transpiration. So now transpiration plus evaporation forms what? They go for condensation, where they form the clouds. All right. Transpiration and evaporation goes forward and forms the cloud, which is known as, that process is known as condensation, or condensation, whatever you want to say. Okay. Condensation happens here. Now, after the cloud formation happens, let's say that these are my clouds. After the cloud formation has happened, then what happens? Rainfalls or snowfall. Either rainfall or snowfall can happen. Now, this rainfall or the snowfall is known as what? Precipitation. And with the help of precipitation and this 4 steps together, water is back to where it was. Right? Are you getting my point? Water bodies से क्या हुआ? Water vapor evaporate हुआ. वाटर वेपर यहां से पेड़ पौधों से भी इवेपोरेट हुआ, जिसको बोलते हैं ट्रांसपिरेशन. ट्रांसपिरेशन और इवेपोरेशन टुगेदर उन लोगों ने क्या किया? कंडेंसेशन हुई, जो क्लाउड्स बन गए, बादल बन गए, बादल से बरसात हुई या फिर स्नोफॉल हुआ, जिसको बोलते हैं प्रेसिपिटेशन. एंड विद दिस 4 स्टेप्स क्या हुआ? पानी जो गया था ऊपर, जो एटमॉस्फेयर में गया था, वो फिर वापस आ गया. तो इससे समझ आ गया वाटर साइकिल. व्हाट इज वाटर साइकिल? आ गया सबको समझ? Very good. All right. So if at all you haven't understood, then please do let me know in the comment section of this video, and trust me, I will definitely come there and explain to you whatever your doubt is. ठीक है? तो water cycle के बाद, this is exactly how water cycle happens, which is what I try to understand. See the water bodies that you can see here. From here what will happen? Evaporation is happening. ठीक है? From the trees transpiration is happening. Transpiration is here. Transpiration that you can see is here. This is evaporation here, right here. This is evaporation. And this evaporation plus transpiration is forming clouds right here. This formation of clouds here, right here, is condensation. From condensation, this part, this falling of rain or snowfall is what? It is precipitation. Cool? It is precipitation. Okay? So this is the whole water cycle that you can see in this picture. Clear, guys? Absolutely clear? So I have made you understand this whole thing twice. So I hope there will be no doubt. But if at all there is any doubt, then trust me, I am there. Alright? Don't worry about it. Now moving on. Next thing that we have to understand is, what will happen if there is heavy rainfall or if there is no rainfall at all? So there are only 2 options that are possible. Okay? Extremities. मतलब either spectrum का एक side या फिर दूसरा side. मतलब क्या हो सकता है? What was I saying? I was telling you that extremities मतलब क्या हो सकता है? जैसे कि सिक्के का इधर या उधर, right? Either this side या फिर that side. So what can happen? Either you might have heavy rainfall and the consequence could be a flood, or there is no rainfall at all, and the consequence could be drought. मतलब either सूखा बंजारापन हो सकता है कि बिल्कुल बारिश आ ही नहीं रही है, तो पेड़ पौधे मर गए, पानी बिल्कुल नहीं आ रही, जमीन सूख गई एकदम सी, या फिर इतना ज्यादा पानी आ गया कि फ्लड के वजह से सब कुछ बह गया. ठीक है? तो these are the 2 extremities of rainfall. ठीक है? Which is possible. Now moving on. अब रेनफॉल तो ठीक है, रेनफॉल का तो हमें समझ आ गया, प्रेसिपिटेशन इज रेनफॉल, राइट? एंड व्हाई आर ऑल दीज extremities of rainfall happening? By the way, you can see that in today's world we do have a lot of places where floods are continuously occurring, or we do have places where there is no rainfall happening. So why is it happening? Because of us human beings. We are to be blamed because we are not taking care of the environment. We have been always so pro deforestation. We have been cutting down trees in thousands and thousands, but we have not been planting as many. So what happens? These forest areas, they do control the water cycle too. Not really control, but they help in a proper water cycle. Since that is not there, this imbalance in the environment is occurring, and that is why we face these extremities of rainfall very often in today's age, let's say. Okay? Now, since I already told you in the beginning of the chapter that water is a vital resource, what do we understand? We mean to also say that it is very necessary that we conserve water. How do we conserve water? First of all, use judicially. Now, you might ask me, ma'am, what is judicially? Well, judicially means सोच समझ के. Think about it and then use it. Do not just stand somewhere and keep pouring water just like this. Think about it. Think about it very well. Do you really need to drop the extra drop of water? So use it carefully. That's what is meant by judicially. Okay. Next thing, you can also harvest rainwater. Rainwater is falling. Muft ka hai, free ka hai. Why not do it? Now, while you are doing rainwater harvesting, there are two things that you can do. Either rooftop rainwater harvesting, that's something that you can do, or surface runoff हार्वेस्टिंग. रूफटॉप का मतलब क्या होता है? छत पे पानी इकट्ठा करो, बारिश का पानी, ठीक है, दैट इज नोन एज रूफटॉप वाटर हार्वेस्टिंग. और सरफेस रन ऑफ हार्वेस्टिंग क्या होता है? देयर इज अ सरफेस फ्रॉम वेयर द वाटर विल रन ऑफ एंड विल गो इनटू अ टैंक वेयर यू विल बी कलेक्टिंग इट. ऑलराइट. Now from the surface rainwater harvesting, you can also make sure that some of the water goes to the groundwater as well, which will help replenish the groundwater level as well. Now you will ask, what is groundwater? The water that is found under the ground between maybe rocks or the soil, that is known as groundwater. All right guys, so did you understand what we can do? What is rainwater harvesting? Rainwater harvesting का मतलब क्या है? पानी, जो बारिश का पानी है उसको जमा करना, उसको कलेक्ट करना और उसको यूटिलाइज करना. ठीक है. इससे क्या होगा? जो भी फ्रेश वाटर की पानी हम कंटिन्यूअसली इस्तेमाल करते हैं वो थोड़ा सा कम हो जाएगा एंड वी विल बी यूजिंग द वाटर दैट वी आर गेटिंग इट, जस्ट लाइक दैट वी आर गेटिंग इट. ऑलराइट गाइस, इज दिस क्लियर? And with this, guess what? We are actually done with 6th standard water. All right. 6th standard, the chapter water is actually complete. And now moving on, I'm going to tell you that we do have a Telegram group. So please go ahead and download the Telegram app from the Google App Store, Google Play Store. Download it and all you have to do is search for Vedantu Young Wonders and the whole Vedantu Young Wonders team is there. Pritesh sir, me, Sundar sir, Manu sir, everybody, all the subjects that you possibly might be needing, all the doubts that you might be having in any of the subjects, we are all there to help you with it. Okay, so do not forget, do download the Telegram group और आ जाइए, वहां पे बातचीत करेंगे. ठीक है. Now I'm gonna move forward with water, a precious resource from 7th standard. ठीक है. Okay, so in this again, starting off with water is essential for all living beings. This is something that is very basic and we all understand this, correct? Water is found in the three forms: solid, liquid and vapor, or solid, liquid and gaseous state. This is also something that we have told, right? Now water cycle keeps the total amount of water on the earth constant by continuous cycling among its three forms, right? ये भी हमने बात किया. अभी मैंने क्या बोला था? There are 4 steps: evaporation, transpiration, condensation and precipitation. These 4 steps, what it does is, all the water that became vapor went to the atmosphere. It came back again it came back again in the form of liquid or in the form of solid as snowfall or raindrops, right? So ये 3 states of matter of water, that is solid, liquid and gas. ये जो interchange और ये conversion जो होती रहती है, इससे क्या होता है? अर्थ में जितना पानी है वो बैलेंस रहता है. ठीक है. Water cycle balances the amount of water that is present on earth. All right. Moving on. यहां पे हम बात करेंगे ग्राउंड वाटर की. ग्राउंड वाटर में क्या क्या पढ़ना है? इनफिल्ट्रेशन क्या होती है, वाटर टेबल एक्विफायर क्या होती है, how the depletion of water table is occurring, why is it happening, what are the reasons, increasing in population, growing industries and increasing irrigation requirement. These are the reasons for depletion of water table. Now अब एक एक करके बात समझते हैं. ठीक है. इनफिल्ट्रेशन क्या है? कौन बता सकता है इनफिल्ट्रेशन क्या है? So let's understand this. See, the infiltration is basically the seepage. Basically, the soil that is there, the soil can absorb the water. मतलब पानी जो है सीप करता है, धीरे धीरे absorb होता रहता है, नीचे जाता रहता है. ठीक है. Now the seepage of water through the pores. Pores मतलब छोटे छोटे holes. ठीक है. The small holes that are there in the soil, through that पानी अंदर जाता है एंड दैट प्रोसेस इज नोन एज इनफिल्ट्रेशन. इनफिल्ट्रेशन क्या करता है? ग्राउंड वाटर में ग्राउंड वाटर में योगदान देता है, मतलब योगदान करता है, कंट्रीब्यूट करता है, ठीक है? आर यू गेटिंग इट? इन्फिल्ट्रेशन कंट्रीब्यूट्स टुवर्ड्स ग्राउंड वाटर, क्लियर? ठीक है? And what is groundwater? Groundwater is the water that is stored underground, that is stored under the ground or maybe in between rocks or something. ठीक है? That is known as groundwater. Moving on, aquifer. What is aquifer? A body of hard rock which contain or transmit groundwater. Hard rock, बहुत सा एक बड़ा सा हार्ड रॉक ले लो जो ट्रांसमिट कर सकता है ग्राउंड वाटर को, ठीक है? और या फिर जो ले सकता है, कंटेन, जिसके अंदर हो ग्राउंड वाटर, दैट दोज थिंग्स आर नोन एज एक्विफर. व्हाट इज एक्विफर? अ बॉडी ऑफ हार्ड रॉक which either contains groundwater or it can transmit groundwater is known as aquifer. Then we're going to talk about water table. What is water table? The upper level at which groundwater is found. तो हमने क्या बोला? सॉइल के नीचे है ग्राउंड वाटर, राइट? अब क्या होता है, ग्राउंड वाटर जो है कभी कभार थोड़ा सा ऊपर भी पाया जाता है. तो जब थोड़ा सा ऊपर पाया जाता है ना, द अपर लेवल एट विच ग्राउंड वाटर इज फाउंड, जहां पे ऊपर वाले लेवल पे जहां पे ग्राउंड वाटर को पाया जाता है, that is known as water table. Also, water table can also be referred to as sometimes in between the rocks, what happens, there is groundwater present. That water can also be known as water table. ठीक है? Now we know that water table is there is a depletion, that is there is a reduction of water table. Water table जितनी थी उससे कम हो रही है. क्यों? बिकॉज इंक्रीजिंग पॉपुलेशन. जितने लोग हैं उतनी पानी की डिमांड बढ़ेगी, राइट? तो जितना पानी का डिमांड बढ़ेगा उतना लोग यूज करेंगे वाटर टेबल को. अब हर किसी को तो नदी का पानी मिल नहीं सकता, तो वो क्या करते हैं, गड्ढा खोदते हैं और पानी, मिट्टी के अंदर जो पानी है उसका इस्तेमाल करते हैं. इससे क्या हो रहा है, वाटर टेबल में रिडक्शन हो रही है. ग्रोइंग इंडस्ट्रीज, जितनी ज्यादा इंडस्ट्रीज बनेगी उतनी ज्यादा पानी चाहिए होगी. अब can you even imagine one single industry where there is no water required? I'm pretty sure no, right? I'm pretty sure that every industry that we have in the world, all of them requires water. So what can we do? If the industries are growing, that means that water will be required, and since more water is required, that means water table is getting reduced. Increase in irrigation requirement. Why is irrigation requirement increasing? That's because we have more population. That means there are more mouths to feed. ज्यादा लोग हैं मतलब खाना ज्यादा चाहिए, एग्रीकल्चरल प्रोडक्ट्स की डिमांड भी बढ़ रही है. एग्रीकल्चरल प्रोडक्ट्स की डिमांड बढ़ेगी मतलब पानी ज्यादा चाहिए, पानी ज्यादा चाहिए मतलब वाटर टेबल में रिडक्शन हो रही है. सो इज इट क्लियर व्हाट इज हैपनिंग, व्हाट्स गोइंग ऑन हियर? सो ग्राउंड वाटर वी हैव कंप्लीटेड. अब वी आर गोना टॉक अबाउट वाटर मैनेजमेंट. वाटर मैनेजमेंट में क्या क्या कर सकते हैं? रेन वाटर हार्वेस्टिंग, विच वी हैव just some time back, 5 minutes back, we have spoken about. Drip irrigation is a type of irrigation where you take a lot of pipelines and then drip by drip the water just flows away. Water just flows on. ठीक है? It is a system that is used in irrigation exclusively. It also helps to manage water. ठीक है? Water management में ये काफी इस्तेमाल करते हैं. The farmers are using it extensively these days. Drip irrigation has been taken over by a lot of farmers just so that they can help with the water management. And last but not the least, it is Bowries. ठीक है? Bowries is also a very easy term. Please try to let me know in the comment section what Bowery is. If not, then I will definitely tell you. ठीक है? I will add this Bowery on in the descriptive box of it. Please do try to answer me in the comment section what Bowery is. If you do not, then you can go and check the descriptive box. All right, guys, deal? ठीक है? Moving on. The last thing that we have to understand in this chapter is that there is an uneven distribution of water, right? There are places where there is abundant amount of water, there is a lot of rainfall that is happening, and then again in the same country you will find that there are places where there is no rainfall at all. Because of this uneven distribution of water, not everybody has the access to clean water. And if there is no clean water available, then you do know that a lot of waterborne diseases can occur, right? Now, this is something that we have to look for. We are supposed to manage water. We are supposed to take care of this vital resource water, just so that this uneven distribution of water can be reduced. ठीक है, ताकि सबको access मिल पाए पानी का. Moving on, we should try to avoid wastage and every individual should use water economically, which is obvious, right? We are supposed to use water economically. ऐसा नहीं है कि फ्री में मिल रहा है तो पानी बस ऐसे खोल के छोड़ दो. ऐसा नहीं है कि एक दिन मन किया नहाने का तो 10 बाल्टी से नहा लिया. No. I mean, yes, it might be for you 10 balti is nothing, but do you understand that there are people who are not even getting a drop of water to drink? तो अगर आप 2 बाल्टी से नहा लोगे तो शायद बाकी के जो 8 बाल्टी है वो उनके पास चले जाए. Are you getting my point? So yeah, try to use water economically. ठीक है? Plants wilt and ultimately dry up if they are not watered for days. पानी सिर्फ हमें ही जरूरत नहीं होती, बल्कि पानी प्लांट्स को भी जरूरत होती है, एनिमल्स को भी जरूरत होती है. और अगर हम ये करना चालू कर दे, अगर हमने नहीं सोचा, तो दैट डे विल नॉट बी फार अवे व्हेन ऑल the autotrophs, the plants will also dry up and we will not have any food. All right, guys. Moving on to the next part, recharge of water to the ground should be increased. It is the need of the hour that we try our best to increase the groundwater level, because I told you that groundwater level is depleting day by day, and I really want you all to understand how to increase the groundwater level. You should start conservation of rainwater and everything, just so that the groundwater can be recharged as soon as possible. All right, guys, and that was all in these 2 chapters. Nothing much, like I told you. It is a very easy chapter. You should not be scared at all. And last but not the least, guys, we are Vedantu Young Wonders. If you like the content that we are providing you, then please do like, share and subscribe and spread the love. Do let everybody know that Vedantu Young Wonders exist. All right, guys. See you soon in the next session. Bye-bye, everyone.